The film starts with a couple of teens lounging around a table at a local party. How to burn calories and stay fit is the hottest topic. One of them pulls out her phone, points to an app, and claims that it is very effective. Everyone is curious about this, but when a girl tries to find it, she finds another app with the same name, Countdown. She discovers, after reading the app's description, that it can accurately predict a person's death time to the second. The group decides to turn the app into a drinking game out of curiosity, but Courtney, one of the girls, is hesitant. She reluctantly downloads the app and agrees to the terms and conditions, but everyone insists. After that, everyone in the group gets between 20 and 70 years, with the exception of Courtney, who only has 3 hours to live. However, none of them take it seriously and force her to consume all of the beer in accordance with the game's rules. Evan, her boyfriend, shows up at that exact moment and helps her with the drinks. He loses so much energy that he can barely drive. Consequently, Courtney leaves him after the party and decides to walk home alone. She receives a cryptic message from the app stating that she has violated the user agreement along the way. After that, she begins to walk more quickly when she detects a figure following her from behind. The app sends out a notification all of a sudden informing her that she only has 2 minutes to live. Panicked, Courtney turns off the telephone and runs into her home. To calm herself, she immediately goes to the bathroom, but things get even weirder. When she turns around, she hears a curtain movie and is thrown up to the ceiling by an unidentified force. Courtney is thrown to the floor of the bathroom in a lifeless state when the countdown reaches 0. The phone is also miraculously turned on. We can see that Evan's car has been in a terrible accident somewhere else. A tree log has impaled the seat that Courtney was supposed to be in. The scene then slices to a medical clinic where a medical attendant named Quinn is conveying food to the patients. She searches the hospital until she locates the patient in the balcony area after learning that one of them is missing. He turns out to be Evan, for sure. Quinn sits with him and attempts to loosen up him for his medical procedure the following day. However, Evan is still traumatized by his girlfriend's actions. He tells Quinn about the Countdown app, which informs him that he has only 19 more hours to live. Additionally, he informs her of his girlfriend, Courtney, and her death process. Evan is convinced that he will also pass away within the allotted time, which also happens to be the time of his surgery. However, Quinn, who disagrees with everything, persuades him that everything will be okay. She meets Amy, a senior nurse, on the way back, and she asks Quinn to go with her. Quinn is now a registered nurse, so the staff at the hospital surprised her with a cake. A notification on her phone later turns out to be an advertisement for the Countdown app. She downloads the app without second thought and accepts the terms and conditions. Quinn shrugs it off because she thinks the app is a joke and that it says she only has 2 days left to live. As she enters the lift, a senior specialist, she tries to flirt with Sullivan. He is, however, rudely rejected by Quinn before departing. Quinn calls her friend for assistance the same evening because she is having trouble finishing her nursing paperwork. The latter states that in order to complete the form, she requires a birth certificate. The scene then cuts to Quinn retrieving her birth certificate at her parents' house. She finds it in her late mother's room after some searching. Quinn hears a sudden noise coming from the closet at that exact moment, and when she goes to look, she finds her younger sister, Jordan, and her boyfriend are hiding. The person quickly leaves while Quinn is left in dismay about what she recently saw. Jordan, on the other hand, is furious that her romantic opportunity was ruined. Even after their mother's death, she yells at her sister for always being absent. Quinn is greeted by her father as she departs. He asks her if she would like to visit their mother's grave at some point, and she says yes. Evan is getting ready for surgery the following day, but he is reluctant because the app says he only has 3 minutes left. As a result, he cancels his surgery and leaves the room, but the app immediately notifies him that he has violated the user agreement. Evan looks in the mirror the next instant and sees a tall black figure behind him, but no one is there in real time. He then follows the ominous figure to a pitch-black staircase. Evan nervously navigates the area with his phone's flashlight. He suddenly sees a person dressed like Courtney when he looks up. Just as the countdown reaches 0, it grabs him and throws him down the stairs. Quinn arrives shortly thereafter at Amy's workplace, where she is disturbed when she hears about the incident. She steals Evan's phone to get more information, but she realizes that she needs a fingerprint to unlock it. Quinn goes to the hospital morgue because he has no other option. She tries using Evan's finger there, but it doesn't work. As a result, she opens his eyes and then uses face recognition to unlock the phone. She notices that the countdown has reached 0 as Quinn peruses his phone. Afterward, She understands that her commencement time is at that very hour she will meet her father and Jordan to go to her mom's grave. So, she calls her dad and cancels her plans right away. Quinn suddenly notices a shadowy figure in the room after the app, as was to be expected, reports that she has violated the user agreement. She is relieved that only Dr. Sullivan has arrived to request her assistance with a patient. That very night, Quinn makes an honest effort to erase the application, however without any result. As a result, she searches the internet for answers. Her concerns only get worse as she comes across various Countdown app-related cases. She suddenly notices that Evan is dead on her bed as she is getting ready to sleep. She gets angry and throws her phone to the ground, breaking it in half. However, the countdown is still displayed despite this. Quinn heads out to her car and falls asleep there because this deeply scares her. Jordan wakes her up in the morning, and the two of them go to Quinn's apartment. Jordan wants to spend some time with her sister, but Quinn says it won't be safe, so she gets mad and leaves. Quinn later purchases a new phone at an electronics store. When she discovers that the app is not present, she feels relieved. On the other hand, the Countdown app on her new phone sends her a notification just as she is about to leave. The shopkeeper refuses to delete it despite Quinn's desperate request. She is annoyed, so she gets in her car while Matt, a store customer, inquires about the app Quinn was talking about. In the meantime, Quinn is driving when she suddenly sees a dark figure, which causes her to crash into another vehicle. She is about to be beaten up by the car's irate owner when Matt comes outside and saves her. He then says that the Countdown app is making him suffer too. The two go to a bar to continue their conversation and come up with a way to read the app's terms and conditions. They discover that it only appears after the app has been installed for the first time, so Matt persuades a drunk man to download Countdown. Quinn begins to read the terms and conditions when he reaches the page. It declares that the players must accept their fates regardless. The drunk guy accepts despite the ominous warning, and to everyone's surprise, he has a long countdown of 39 years. Meanwhile, Quinn and Matt visit the hospital to speak with the priest because they believe demons are involved. On the other hand, he directs them to a much more qualified individual and provides them with an address. As they are going to leave, Quinn is called by Amy while Matt goes to the restroom. He doesn't pay much attention to the child he sees there from beneath the stall. Matt hears someone crying as he washes his hands afterwards. He goes to check and sees the same kid walking through the stalls like nothing has changed. Soon, the light goes out, and he is attacked from behind by a mysterious figure. The lights come back on and Matt fights for his life, but the demon is gone the next instant. In the meantime, Quinn and Dr. Sullivan head to a meeting with HR. It turns out that the perverse doctor told the HR he was the target of Quinn's constant assaults. The latter attempts to demonstrate her innocence, but the HR department suspends her indefinitely. Quinn leaves the room in a rage and meets Matt, who is still shaken from the previous incident. They meet the man the priest pointed them toward shortly after arriving at a church. He recalls an old tale about a village being terrorized by a similar demon after hearing them out. However, once the people realized its flaws and banded together, they killed it forever. The priest now tells Quinn and Matt to find a hacker because he wants to learn more about how the app works. In the subsequent scene, the two visit the same mobile shop and seek assistance from the proprietor. The latter considers it to be a joke, but when they offer him some money, he accepts. Later on, the shopkeeper breaks into the app and finds the Latin code. He also alters the parameters of the countdown clocks for each user to extend their lifespans. Jordan's name is also displayed there, revealing that she has also downloaded that app, which is surprising. Quinn takes Matt home after the successful hacking operation because she is too afraid to spend the night by herself. They briefly discuss their lives before quickly falling asleep. At 12 p.m., Quinn unexpectedly awakens in the wake of hearing something outside the room. To her horror, Matt is the one outside, indicating that the demon is the person in bed with her. The demon vanishes when Matt takes off the bed sheets after she freaks out. Sadly, both Quinn's and Matt's countdown return to their initial numbers. Jordan goes to get her phone when she hears it ringing in another room. She hears her deceased mother talking as the lights begin to flicker suddenly as she notices the countdown. The woman then appears in an instant. Jordan runs for her life, almost having a heart attack, and Quinn and Matt arrive just in time to save her. The trio then travels to the priest. There, the app code leads him to believe that they are cursed. After that, the priest explains that a person who uses the countdown app must either die early or live longer than the countdown. They select the second option, as expected, and the priest decides to assist them. Before creating a holy circle to protect them from the demons, he blesses some salt. Matt pauses for a moment after the procedure is finished because he realizes he only has 2 minutes left. Quinn goes with him to reassure him, yet, they wind up sharing a close-to-home kiss. The lights suddenly go out, and everyone rushes inside the circle. Soon after, the demon appears, but, as planned, it is unable to enter the circle. Matt's phone starts to ring suddenly, and he starts to see visions of his deceased brother who tries to get him out of the circle. Quinn flees after the demon immediately drags him outside the building. Matt, on the other hand, is fatally struck by a vehicle when the two of them reunite. Quinn returns to the house, devastated, to find her sister bleeding from what appears to be a cut. In this way, she quickly surges Jordan to the clinic. Another nurse approaches Quinn there and tells her that she is also a victim of Dr. Sullivan's abuse. She fantasizes about him being brutally murdered. Quinn gets a brilliant idea after hearing this. She intends to prematurely kill Sullivan because he also has the app, hoping that will end the curse. Later, Quinn lures him into her office and tells him to follow her to the hospital's closed section. She tries to inject Sullivan with a lot of morphine after he falls into her trap, but Jordan comes looking for her right then. The demon drags the doctor away abruptly to stop the premature death. Jordan checks her phone, and it shows that she only has 2 minutes to live, so Quinn pursues them. Quinn, on the other hand, comes across Sullivan and prepares to attack him when the demon pushes her away, allowing the doctor to flee. Jordan is pursued by the demon after some time has passed. With a syringe pressed against her skin, Quinn confronts it just as her time is about to expire. Quinn is unperturbed by the demon's attempt to impersonate her deceased mother. She bravely gives herself the morphine, which kills her right away. The curse is lifted and the demon appears to have been defeated because she died before her countdown was up. In the meantime, Jordan rushes to Quinn's body and, to his surprise, finds a bottle and syringe in her pocket and a drug written on her arm. Jordan uses the syringe immediately and injects it into Quinn's arm, bringing her back to life. The scene then cuts to a future location where Jordan, Quinn, and her father pay their respects to their mother's grave. At the end of the movie, Quinn gets a notification on her phone saying that the most recent Countdown app version has been installed. Thanks for watching my videos. Please hit that like button and do not forget to subscribe to my channel.